Alright guys, so I'm going to start off with the Cover FX Gripping Primer. This is what it looks like, and I've already used this a few times, so I mean, we can still say it's new because it's new to my channel. I can tell you guys already that with this primer, a matte foundation works best. If you use something that is more dewy or has more of a satin finish, you are going to find that this really doesn't help with the longevity of your makeup. It is super tacky to look. But if you do a matte foundation, I do find that it wears better. All right, so I'm going to be using the Anastasia primer. This is new, and I used this once. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but I thought it was going to be more of a skin tone shade, and as you guys can see, she's white. I am just going to work this in with my fingers and then go in with a brush. What I will say about this product is that a little bit goes a long way. Like, that's what I have left. And it does sheer out quite a bit, but I also find that it gets a little patchy. So I'm just going to go in with a little extra just where I kind of feel like it's looking patchy. The other thing I find is that by going in with a brush and then maybe blending it out with your finger, you can reduce some of the patchiness. And then of course, we don't need to worry about being like super precise. I swear I'm having one of those moments where everything is just working against me. So I want to play with color today. I'm deciding between the neon, the orange neon by Huda, or this guy. I bought this when it was on sale. It was the palette that the mini palette that I've always wanted, but I really couldn't justify because I'm like, I'm really not gonna wear this all that often. But when it went on sale, I'm like, okay, I can do it. That pink and purple, the middle shades, are just calling my name. But I do want to play with the Huda palette, and I have already started playing with it. We're gonna go in with Pat. All right, so I am going to take, let me see, Rose Risque, which is the pink shade on the bottom here. And this is going to be the color that I use all over my lid. So before I do anything else, I am going to take a little bit of the Fenty setting powder in Banana. And I'm just going to set this just to make sure that it's nice and dry and that nothing goes on patchy or unsmoothly. The other thing is I broke the little string that goes on there, which is fine because this is a magnetic closure anyway. Let's start actually with Pale Fire, which is this shade right here. And then we'll go in with Rose Risque, just to kind of give us a nice blend. So I have a story for you guys. My son is still sick. He's still struggling with breaking his fever, but in the middle of all of this stuff, I woke up one day and I had this really, really horrible pain in my eye, my right eye. And I'm like, what is going on? So I went to work. I had a really hard time keeping my eye open, and it was horribly painful. It felt like I was being stabbed in the eye. There was burning, and it was just horrible, right? So I thought, I have an eye infection. So I called my eye doctor. I made an appointment, went right after work, and she looks in my eye and she's like, so there's something in your eye that looks like it could be a small fingernail. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you know, like there's something in your eye that looks like there's a small fingernail and it's in pretty deep. What you mean? So she had to have me see an ophthalmologist to really just get a second opinion and to get a better look at what was going on with my eye. But she prescribed me some antibiotics, which made the biggest difference. Like, it definitely helped with the pain. It wasn't like a sharp constant pain at that point. Like, it was just dull. It almost felt like it was a light migraine. If you're wondering how that happened or whose it was my son's. I was cutting his nails, but I swear to you guys, I didn't feel anything. I'm just blending this back and forth. I'm like, it's definitely, that's what it was, right? There was no other explanation than the obvious one. I had to get an appointment. I had to make an appointment with my primary doctor to get a physical because I had gotten a physical in some time because I was pregnant. So my doctor was saying that she didn't see me. I'm going to go in with the purple shade and now with a flat brush. This is a flat shader brush by Bodyography. So I just kept thinking, wow, that she needed to see me because I just kept thinking that I was really annoyed at the fact that she wouldn't give me a referral to see a specialist even though I had something in my eye, right? So if you're wondering, why didn't you just go to the ER? My doctor said that it was on a nerve, but that there was no like additional risk. Like, it was pretty much, it wasn't moving. I didn't feel that I needed to go. The pain wasn't as bad. And if I could avoid a visit to the ER, then I was going to do that. Long story short, it took 2 days, 2 full days, with me going back and forth to the doctor, trying to get my physical, get the stupid referral, find someone that would see me. And I didn't get to see a specialist until Friday morning, who looks at my eye and says, your body has basically pushed whatever it was out. There's nothing there. I can see that there was something there. And I would just tell you to keep using the antibiotics. You're totally fine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And then as he's walking out, he goes, but that does happen. It's more common than you think. So he's like, the next time you're going to cut his nails, wear your glasses. So PSA, wear goggles, wear glasses, protect your eyes when you're cutting your children's nails, because you never know. Even your own, I guess. This is really, really vibrant. I love this purple. I'm just patting over some areas I feel like could be a little bit more vibrant. All right, guys, so I have to say I'm impressed with the fact that there's like no fallout. I'm just gonna take this makeup wipe and I'm just going to clean up that edge here, which will help kind of bring this look together and not make it look as crazy as it does. What else do I have to tell you guys? Oh, anyway, so because of my eye injury, I haven't really been able to film. Today was the first day I wore my contacts, actually. I just kind of stopped wearing like mascara or any eye makeup. I was not wearing my contacts just to kind of give my eye a break. It was just a mess. It was a mess, to say the least. All right, so now I'm going to go in with foundation, and this is a new one for you guys. I wore this yesterday, and it's the Juvia's Place foundation. So I'm going to apply this, and you're going to see it in my review. So I'm not going to include this part in my actual video for today. I'm taking 1 pump and using my Juno & Co. sponge. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take my Smashbox concealer in the shade Light Medium Warm Golden. We need to kind of even this out. As you guys can see, it is a little bit darker, but honestly, I had a really hard time finding a shade that would be an exact match for me. The girl at Ulta was really young, and she insisted on helping. I never told her that I was actually really comfortable. Oops, I just got this in my eye. I never told her that I was a makeup artist, or that I worked at Sephora, or that I had quite a bit of experience and felt comfortable with finding my own shade. She was very persistent, and I felt bad just turning her away. The only reason why I'm doing this is because this is much a bit too dark for me, so I'm gonna go in with the same sponge. She actually wanted me to get a shade that was way too dark. She's like, oh, what foundation are you wearing? And I had on the Fenty foundation. And then she's like, oh, do you know what shade? Because we can help find you a shade just based on that. And I said, well, I told her what it was. And then she's like, oh, we don't have the chart. She was sweet, and I really felt bad because she kept trying to help people, and they were just like, no. They had the ColourPop concealers there too, and I bought one thinking that I could try it out, and they're really inexpensive, so I'm like, why not? But the shade I wanted was sold out, and I think it was like 26, and she wanted me to get 24, which was like super fair. And I told her, I'm like, no, you know, I'm totally fine. And then she's like, well, you're supposed to. And I just looked at her like, I'm supposed to what? And she's like, you're supposed to wear a concealer that's lighter. And I just looked at her and I'm like, yeah, if that's what you like. I'm like, but, you know, I said, I'm sure that you can tell that I'm okay with it looking like it's my skin tone. Like, I'm not, my preference is not to wear it so that it really brightens. I just want to cancel out the darkness under my eye. And then she's like, yeah, well, you're doing it wrong. And I just looked at her, I'm like, okay, well, thank you. I'm really okay. You know, you can go help somebody else. I'm totally fine. And then she's like, but you know, I can show you some things. I'm like, well, I'm okay right now. I said, if I need anything, I'll find you. Girl could not take a hint. I just kind of walked away from her. She kept following me around, and it was really uncomfortable. And I didn't want to make her feel bad, so I wasn't like, oh, you know, I'm a makeup artist, I don't need help or anything. Like, I didn't want to do that to her because she's trying and she's learning. So I think it's always good experience. But she tried to help this other lady that was looking at the same foundation at the same time, and she was doing the same thing, and I'm like, it's so off-putting, you know, to have somebody tell you what you should do or what you shouldn't do just based on what your preference is or whatever. And I know she was just trying to make the sale. That's all it was. Like, she didn't want me to walk away and not buy that concealer. I'm like, I have so much concealer, I'm totally okay. And she's like, oh, but you really need this one. I'm like, no, I'm okay. And I just had to get out of there. I can't do pushy salespeople. I'm that person that when I walk into a store, I'm okay with you just saying hi and that's it. Like, if I want help, I will come find you. And I feel like, I know this, right? Approach a client. But if somebody tells you that they don't need help, I am that person that I'm going to give you your space, because I know more often than not, you know, people come and they find me. I haven't ignored them. I'm just, give me some space. So I'm going to set this yesterday, and you guys will see the footage from yesterday because I'm not going to refilm this, but I wore this yesterday and I did not set it because I wanted to see how it would wear on its own. And well, you guys will see what I think about this foundation, but I think I need to set this. So I'm going to set it with my Fenty Banana Powder, and I have been using this a ton lately. I'm going to use it with my Juno & Co sponge, and I'm just going to take this right under the eye, I like the way this smells. It has a fragrance to it, but it's like you get the first hit and then it just kind of settles down. And I do like the way it smells. It's not like you know who. Okay, I'm just gonna do the center. So I work at Sephora tomorrow and they're doing, what's it called? A festival theme contest. And I'm gonna film that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I think I'm gonna use the Huda Neon palette, which is really why I decided to use Pat today, because I really want to play with the oranges. I have a look in mind, but I don't know how it's going to look. We are going to go dramatic today. I mean, we have to, right? So I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals powder bronzer in medium, and I'm just going to start bronzing my face. I know I look crazy, guys, but we're about to dust all that off. I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Siren powder with the same brush, and I'm going to buff this powder off my face. If you are wanting a setting powder but don't want to spend a ton, I would definitely recommend the Coty Airspun. You can buy it at Walmart, Target, Walgreens, and that's really good. Before I emptied out my vanity, that's really what I was jumping into. I really loved the effect that powder gave me. With the Fenty powder, you can't let it sit too long because it really does, it bakes quickly. Like, for whatever reason, it's one of those powders that just grabs quickly and then you're left with like crazy. The nice thing about the Marc Jacobs one is because it is a little tinted, it does end up giving you just a little bit more color. So again, we're going to take this and I'm going to use my MAC 135 and I'm just going to bronze the skin. I've started using this brush again and I apologize because they don't make natural hair brushes anymore and I wouldn't recommend the synthetic from their line. I'm going to touch up my brows, do my mascara, and then we'll be back to finish the rest of the face. All right, guys, I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs liner in Mist Me. It's just a really pretty lilac shade, and I'm going to use this in my waterline. I love this pencil. It's so pretty. And it's very vibrant. But it's still one of those pencils that you could wear during the day. It's like sometimes I'll wear it with like nothing but mascara and maybe like a little brown in the crease. It's really pretty. The fly in my room. I don't know how I got it in here, but I hate flies. Now I'm going to go in with the shade Gold Nectar, which is the gold shade in the palette. Boom. And I am going to apply that to the inner corner. I'm actually going to take that into the crease or into the lid a little bit, just because I like how metallic this is. And then I'm going to take the purple, the brush I use with the purple, and just kind of blend so that it looks more blended and not like, or diffuse, more blended, more diffuse and not so like intense and harsh. Wow, this color is stunning. Am I surprised though? It's Pat McGrath. I'm gonna go in with that same shade and just see what this looks like right under the brow. It's a little too dark for under the brow, but we're gonna make it work. This is making me feel all sorts of Aladdin vibes. It works. It looks pretty. I'm just gonna take this brush. This is what I use for the concealer. And I'm just blending that so it looks more natural, not like so crazy. So I went a little heavy with the brows, and the reason is because I'm debating on whether I want to put glitter on them. I think I want this look to be a little crazy. I think I may go there. Not sure yet. Let's see. Let's blend this guy out a little bit more because this is killing me here. I have a really hard time blending this edge out because my lid tends to be a little bit droopier. I'm gonna take this, just round this out and clean it up. Oh, see. All right, I'm gonna take Milk Cosmetics Nevermore blush. This is what it looks like. I haven't played with this one because I have been using Sundown a ton. And then I'm gonna take this just right above the brow. These are very powdery. I want something with a little bit more punch. So I'm gonna use this Anastasia Trio, and I'm gonna mix the peach and the pink shades. So my little cousin, Vera, hey girl, watches my videos with her mama, Melina. Hey Melina. And they're asking for more basic and easy tutorials, like for beginners. So I'm going to work on that. So you guys are going to see some 101 classes, videos. If you guys have any recommendations on what you would like to see, leave them down below. Okay, who is cringing from how dry my skin looks? I'm gonna go in with the Dewy Set by Anastasia. I love this stuff. I love how it smells. I love how it makes my skin look. I love it. I'm gonna go in with Pat McGrath Beautiful Creature lipstick. This is what she looks like. It's a really pretty berry, and I just figured instead of a nude, let's go with a berry. I am excited about the Luminous and Sir John collection, the Lion King collection. I love the palettes. I love what he did with the artwork. Like, it's amazing. So I think I'm gonna end up getting the eyeshadow palette. You know, if you guys are planning to get anything from that collection, and my camera cut off, what I was saying is that I don't think to make simpler videos because I assume that you guys are all pretty advanced. But can you guys remind me sometimes when you need me to tone it down a little bit? I'm gonna do Space Jam by LA Lemonhead LA. I don't know why I have such a hard time remembering them. I love their stuff, their glitter. So I'm gonna take this with a Zoeva 317. This is a wing liner brush, but today she does brows. So yes, I'm really excited about the Sir John Luminous collection. I think it's gonna be beautiful. And here, fun fact, when I had my first YouTube channel back in the day, I was actually talking to Luminous Air, and they were having a contest, and this is like back in the day when I didn't edit, when I would literally film in front of my window, and they reached out and they're like, hey, you should really consider entering in our contest. And I did, and I got second place. Look at this brow. And I got their airbrush system, which I still have to this day and I use in my kit. I love the airbrush system. It's small, it's lightweight, and it is great quality. At the time, I think I was looking at a few options, and this was a more affordable option, but more importantly, I won it for free. So a friend of mine was telling me that they don't have like the best reputation, but I honestly don't have any negative feelings about them. I haven't had any issues, and I actually have very, fond memories of them because I want to say that they were just coming out. They didn't have a ton of product, and they were super, super sweet. All right, guys, this is it. I felt creative. I wanted to try something new. It looks funny. This is not a look that you would wear out. Maybe it is, I don't know. I think this is more like a festival look. Chicago is getting ready to celebrate Pride, so I'm gonna say this is a Pride inspired look. And I really like the way it turned out. I think the brows look cool. They're really futuristic. And I like the eyeshadow. Let's quickly go over products. This glitter, this is by, again, Lemonhead LA. They are amazing glitters. You get a ton of product, but they're so beautiful. Like, look at what Mel Rosé looks like. It's this beautiful, like, pink with gold. It's absolutely stunning. And I highly recommend them. I think I have like 5 of their glitters. This Pat McGrath palette, this was in La Vie and Rose, is stunning. It's everything I imagined to be. This is actually, of the 3 that she had released, this was the one that I wanted most, and I'm like, I can't justify it. Like, I won't wear it enough. But honestly, like, so worth it. The colors blended out beautifully. It looks really soft and pretty, and that purple is life. So I absolutely love that palette. Juvia's Place, you guys will just have to watch my review. So far today, I think she looks good. She's full coverage. She's thicky thick. The Anastasia blush trios, I've talked about it. I like these a lot. They're very smooth, easy to blend. Very, very pretty. Bare Minerals bronzer, man, this one's been doing it for me all over again. The color is just really neutral, cool. It bronzes, it contours, it does all of the above. Marc Jacobs, growing on me, really like this product. I don't know that I would repurchase it, but I do really like it. Fenty. You want heavy duty, you want something that's going to lock your makeup in, you want something that is going to quickly set and bake. Fenty. The ABH primer, I like it. I think it does a good job at canceling out any color on the lid. I think it really makes everything vibrant and pop. I have to play with this a little bit more to give you guys a final opinion on it, but I like it. Pat McGrath lipsticks, always fantastic, never a disappointment. And this liner is one of my favorite liners. I really love it. I think if you want to play with color but don't want to commit to like this kind of crazy, then you'll love something like this. The Marc Jacob liners are by far some of my favorite, and I would say they're not horribly expensive. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed this look and that you enjoyed my story about getting a little fingernail in my eye. Let me know down below if you guys have any recommendations for upcoming videos, and I think I'm going to do one more crazy tutorial. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.